World of Tanks Double Barrels. This is an example of a tank that has two barrels. In the video game World of Tanks, here's another example of a tank that has two barrels. And I prepared this document that explains everything you need to know about double-barreled guns in World of Tanks. Some tanks have two gun barrels. In general, they can fire as auto reloaders, single shot, or double shot. Double shot means it fires both at the same time. Normally, you're going to fire it as an auto reloader. When firing from the first barrel, the view will shift from the first barrel to the second barrel. You can fire from both barrels after a salvo preparation time of about 2 or 3 seconds. When the view shifts, the gunner is looking through the gun sight. I don't think they have two gun sights with these double barrel tanks, but in the game, it shifts from one barrel to the next. Firing from both barrels can be set in the keyboard and mouse settings, but is usually done by holding both mouse buttons down. When most people do not like the default mouse settings because it conflicts with another feature in the game. I really don't remember what it was, but you have to go and change the settings when you get these double barrel vehicles, otherwise it won't fire. It's something like the function when you hold the mouse button down and it fires as soon as it's reloaded. There's some function like that that doesn't work because it conflicts with an existing function, so you have to change it. When firing both barrels simultaneously, it is possible one round will penetrate and the other might not, or it might miss, or they both might miss. They might hit two different plates. If two rounds penetrate, the damage is summed together into one value. I think if you hit the same plate with both rounds, I think it gives them both the same RNG, but I don't remember. You're more likely to set an engine on fire or detonate the ammo rack due to the higher damage with a double shot. With a double shot, the modules have internal hit points. And if you hit it with a double shot doing double the damage, you're more likely to set the engine on fire because you have to bring the hit points down to 0, and the same with the ammo rack. You have to wait for both rounds to load before firing a dual salvo. If you're just firing one round, you don't have to wait for both rounds to load. In real-world gameplay, it's rare to fire a double shot due to the fast-paced nature of the game. However, in Frontline, there's many opportunities to fire double shots, and usually I only fire double shots in Frontline. But you only do it if the enemy isn't paying attention, or if he's tracked, looking the other way, if he's extremely slow. In general, you're not going to be able to do it against the front of the armor because you have to aim too carefully. It's going to be really difficult to fire both at the same time. And plus, you got the prep time. It doesn't just fire. Both shells must be the same type. You cannot have AP and APCR and HE. You only get one type of round. And if you switch rounds, you have to reload everything. The vehicle stats panel shows how many seconds are required to prepare a salvo from both barrels. Over here it says 3/3, and I know that one means 3 seconds for the salvo preparation. I don't know what the other number means. This is what the Object 703-2-122 looks like from above. You can see it has two barrels, and the muzzle is rotated. This is the 122, the SU-2-122. It has two short barrels on the front. This is the tech tree. You've got the IS-22, the IS-32, and the ST-2. So people often wondered, is it STI or ST1? It's ST1 because the 1 is a Roman numeral 1. This is a Roman numeral 2. In Russia, they use Roman numerals just like we use Roman numerals in English. Double-barrel tanks can be found in the tech tree under USSR in Tier 8, 9, and 10. There are presently two double-barrel premium tanks, which is the SU-2-122 and the 703-2. Other nations have developed double barrel tanks such as the TS-54, and I believe there's another one called the Crocodile that was an American double barrel tank. But when I looked up Crocodile, it showed a different vehicle. I don't know about these tanks. They got short barrels, which means they're not going to aim very well. But this is fun to play. I know that the gun is not super amazing. Like the IS-3A is very competitive. This has good armor. But playing the double barrels is way more fun than playing without. And the STI, the ST1, it's a great tank. And the IS-4 is a great tank. Maybe you probably don't like the KV-4 so much because it's not a modern tank. But I think you're going to have more fun with the double barrel, especially because you can load 2 shells, use them like auto reloaders. And this one has great armor, and you're going to want to play this one in frontline. You don't have the premium. I would say go down the double barrel line before you go down the IS-4 and the ST1 and the KV-4. They are awesome tanks. So that's a little bit of an overview about double barrel tanks. If you have any questions or comments, you can go to cheapbooks.cc and you can post your questions at the bottom. I'll answer them. And if a lot of time has passed, this is January 11th, 2023, it's possible I might add more information at the bottom, for example, about the TS-54. And there was something that I needed to put over here, but I don't remember what it is. And of course, I have to correct the spelling. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, please post below.